I just have to move on. Now, we have just about under 20 minutes to look at the other issues that we tabled for discussion. And let's put the two of them together. That is the suspensions in the NDC. As you are aware, they've suspended an MP, and they've also announced the suspension of some judge who won the Ningo Pram Pram because they put up behavior they claim brings the party into disrepute. So they are suspended until investigations or disciplinary process is concluded. Also in the NPP, you are aware, Sammy Crabbe, who is the second vice chairman, was invited to a disciplinary process, and he wrote a letter saying he would not submit to that disciplinary process because as a vice chair, the process for his removal ought to be at a certain higher level at a Congress, or is it, but not by a committee as constituted that also removed Afoko. So he will not submit to them. We are aware that there was a meeting also, was it on Thursday, and the purpose was to remove Kwabna Ejapong. Nana Kumia came forward to deny, but some information has come forward to suggest that that was really what was going on, to remove the General Secretary also because there's a petition against him. Nana, what's going on in your party again? You are not done with your troubles?
No, we are trying to resolve our troubles. It's obvious to us that the major cause of our troubles was indiscipline at very high levels of the party. And we have tried arbitration, mediation, talking to people. It wasn't working. So we just have to go by the book and the law. And that is what we are doing. And we believe that shortly, this will resolve all the problems. Now, the business about Kwabna Ejapong being the subject matter of the meetings that took place on Thursday, nothing can be further from the truth. The steering committee of the party had a meeting from 10 o'clock to 2:30 in the afternoon. It was followed by a meeting of the National Executive Committee from 3 o'clock to 8:30 in the evening. Kwabna Ejapong was never the subject of any of these meetings.
So the media reports are completely inaccurate.
Come false. Absolutely.
There are some reports that say he went on his knees to beg, and there are those that also say the presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo, who was there, was also begging for him.
You see, Nana Akufo-Addo is not part of the discipline. I think that the media confused two processes. The disciplinary committee is actually holding disciplinary hearings with Kwabna Ejapong. But those hearings have not been completed.
Okay.
It is only when the disciplinary committee finishes its hearings and concludes, then it will submit its conclusion or recommendation to the National Executive Committee. Okay. They have not gotten to that stage. But that process, those disciplinary hearings are ongoing. They haven't finished. They haven't submitted any recommendation. So Kwabna Ejapong's disciplinary hearings could not have been the subject of the meetings that took place on Thursday. So that's with Mr. Crabbe.
Yes.
Yes, there have been petitions against his conduct, as the party's constitution provides. He, I understand, has written to the disciplinary committee that he cannot appear before them because he believes that the disciplinary committee is not the right forum to institute proceedings against him, and that is his view. Okay, now, if I were in his shoes, I would appear before the disciplinary committee to make my point to them. Tell them, yes, you've called me, I've come. What is the matter? Oh, yes, fine, but I don't believe that you are the forum. It shows respect to proper party authorities. But writing to them saying I won't come is a little difficult. Mind you, the disciplinary committee has not let this kind of sentiment stop them from doing what they believe is real.
Yeah.
In the case of Mr. Afoko, and there were also all of these sentiments being expressed.
You are deemed to have waived your right, but in this case, he has actually responded, so they will depend on the response that is being given by right.
Yes, he has never stopped them. So, but you know, Mr. Ejapong, I believe, is setting the right tone. He has appeared, I think, on 2 occasions, and subjected himself to a disciplinary committee, cooperated with them. Sometimes the hearings go on for the whole day.
Wow.
And yes, because if you take Kwabna Ejapong, for example, there are about 8 petitions. And each petitioner will come, make their case, provide the evidence, and then you respond. And the committee takes its notes. Then a second petitioner comes, a third petitioner comes.
There might be cross-examination.
The cross-examination. So sometimes it takes the whole day. But Mr. Japan has been patient. The only time he asked for a break was when he had to go to Amenfi to overlook what. Yes, but he's showing a good example. Okay. And I'm sure it would factor in whatever decision they take. Now, the issue about the NDC one, they've also suspended some people, Mr. Sam George and Mr. Damwale Labadi. They also have their internal processes, and I'm sure they believe that they're also justified. But I'm curious about the Miss, I don't know if the name is Huse or something. How do you pronounce it? Huse? The Edrisu case, where the parliamentary candidate who has won is Gloria Huse. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Now, she has gone on to accuse the sitting minister for local government of having taken bribes to nominate Mr. Ponko for the DCE of Edriso district. Now, the party said they had gone into the allegation. They found no truth in the allegation. And so the woman or the lady should retract. She refused to do so, choosing to stand by her words and suffer suspension. She's refused to retract, and she suffered suspension. Now, that kind of allegation, that an applicant or a nominee for a district DC position has bribed the Minister for Local Government to the tune of 400,000 Ghana cedis or so. It's a very serious allegation. It's coming from somebody who is not, somebody who's actually the parliamentary candidate. Making that allegation against the minister is something that really should come under serious attention, especially when the lady has refused to back down. And so the NDC is saying that, you know, you don't have any proof, we suspended you and all of that. I think that this is a matter that should demand serious investigation, and I'm hoping that proper investigation will be brought into this allegation.
Felix.
Now, something. You see, we need to draw a clear distinction between routine disciplinary action taken against errant party members and the sort of vendetta that has been waged in the NPP against persons perceived to be against the candidacy of Nana Akufo-Addo, or if you like, critical of Nana Akufo-Addo. And the attempt to
that is
box, the attempt to box,
that is unfair.
The attempt to box.
None of the petitions against anybody has mentioned. Yeah, but something you must correct.
Allow the propaganda. It is an analysis.
You should be asking him those questions.
But I was going to deliver the evidence.
You're unduly heckling him. Allow him.
I'm saying that.
No.
But he's been unfair.
No, he's giving you that opportunity. He does not interrupt you.
You said things about that.
Even when comments that appear would attract.
And I thought that was the format for this program.
He said that people.
Sorry, we're running out of time.
Yes, but you are letting us run out of time by not drawing his attention to the
affair. This is not being raised for the first time.
Exactly.
What is not being
something?
He's saying that
people are critical of Nanado or that they are against Nanado's candidacy.
Why do I say so?
It's out there.
The petitions that have been presented. Stick to the petition.
He's making up his own petition. And he says these people are being persecuted because of their affiliation. Purported. And this is in the public domain already.
Yes, but what is before the committee?
Sorry.
It has been unfair, and you should not allow him to engage.
I don't think it's unfair. Please proceed and make
your analysis. You mean he making this allegation?
Let him make his analysis. He hasn't said the petitions before the disciplinary committee are saying these people are working against
But we are talking to the petition.
I am entitled to analyze the petition and dismiss it.
I'm supposed to be the umpire. And I'm supposed to play this role.
These petitions, as far as I'm concerned, are contrived. Because we all know.
Because it's like what is happening that Namwale has been suspended because he's against.
You are entitled to analyze.
You went on to suggest that the parliamentary candidate
that is a serious allegation, blah, 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 blah.
That the allegation she made should be truth.
So should I also make the allegation that Namuale has been suspended?
You can say anything you want.
Namuale is against John Mahama.
You can say anything you want.
Let's go on.
But that would not be fair.
You can say anything you want.
And you talk about propaganda. You talk about propaganda.
To disprove what you are saying.
You talk about propaganda.
Namuale's billboards have President poster firmly fixed on them. You see, we all do know that a certain vendetta is being waged against persons perceived to be against Nana Akufo-Addo. It is not something that we can run away from. Because in terms of misconduct in the NPP, why? People like the treasurer, the name escapes me, Mr. Abankwa, has he not publicly spoken about internal matters of the party?
Is there a petition against him?
Please.
Is this something? Is there a petition against him?
Nana,
if there's a petition,
you are unduly disrupting.
I'm saying that as for petitions, they can be contrived. Getting a few people to write petitions against people is not something that is beyond political parties.
So why didn't you contrive a petition against Abankwa?
I know that the petitions are only contrived and that it was intended to furnish a basis upon which persons believed to be against Nana Akufo-Addo will be punished.
And what is your proof?
For 1 year running, we've all been witnesses to the turmoil in the NPP. We've all been witnesses. The accusations, counter-accusations, the violent attacks. 2 people have died, Samson. So let nobody attempt to trivialize what is happening.
So
as far as I'm concerned, these things constitute a personal vendetta against Mr. Foucault, Kabila Japan, Sammy Crabbe, and all those who are perceived to be against Nana Akufo-Addo. What has happened is that Nana Akufo-Addo is pursuing Victor's justice. Essentially, he has a majority of party members supporting him. So he perceives that he can crash, and he's used the word that persons who are spying in the NPP will be crushed. At least the delegate.
Those were not his words.
Well, but there's not been any formal.
You said I should allow the propaganda.
But something. The Daily Guide, which is a paper owned by
you
the
said the propaganda should go on.
Please, the Daily Guide, which is a newspaper.
I have not contested that because that's the headline of the paper, and
incidentally, the paper is owned by the acting chairperson of the NPP.
So he's the editor.
Well, I didn't say he's the editor, but I'm saying that if this report were untrue, how long would it have taken Anado and his outfit to debunk it? So we all know what has been happening in the NPP. These latest suspensions and dragging before disciplinary committees are but an extension of the turmoil and chaos that is happening in the party. Let nobody attempt to equate what is happening in the NDC.
How do you choose to analyze just the NPP?
No, you see, as far as the NDC, you see, suspensions. As far as the NDC suspensions are concerned, I'm sure you are aware that the Deputy General Secretary, Mr. Anidowu, issued a statement indicating that these are matters before it. They will go into them. And whether or not there is merit in the action taken against the individuals, it will come to light, and subsequent action will be taken. As a party member, I am bound.
So that's
by the position.
No vendetta.
We all know that.
Those who are raising the question
legally,
legally, whether or not, if you suspend your member of parliament, then he can continue to function in the house. Well, they are very respected legal teachers of the law. I agree with who suggests that it should not amount to you being disabled from performing your duties in parliament. It is when you yourself cross carpet that you lose that right to represent the party in parliament. Now, Kweku.
A season of suspensions. That's what we have.
What is vendetta?
But I'm not sure about the campaign of vendetta.
There's a clear vendetta. You are aware of this.
That deduction is of dubious validity.
There's clear vendetta. Clear vendetta.
But you must live with it. It's part of the politics. You got to live with it. See, I think that I salute Mr. Kobne Japan. I have to be very honest with you. I've been critical of some of his conduct, actions, and all the rest. But I have to be very honest with you. He's proving to be a true blue party member and a very, very solid political animal. He's cooperating with the committee. He's doing everything right. And I have to be honest, right inside me, I think what he's doing is complete mitigation of whatever perceived misconduct that had been put before the committee. I am told from sources that Thursday the committee was dealing with him on those matters. The committee, not the steering committee, but the Thursday meeting was there. And it looks as if the committee is going in the direction of a unanimous recommendation of suspension. But my instinct tells me that they may have to be a bit
cautious. The disciplinary committee.
Yes, but I think they ought to be cautious. The man has proven you know, by his conduct. And I think that mitigation factor should be considered. Unlike Afoko, who went in a very frontal, almost a kindergarten political.
That's
I'm sorry,
extremely
that is withdrawn. That is withdrawn.
All right.
I retract and I apologize.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for
Forgive me for that.
Because I was going to ask you to
But Crabbe, but my brother, Mr. Crabbe, absentee vice chairman. Do I withdraw that too?
Well, I mean, that is fair comment.
You know,
Felix
I can't believe it.
likes it. So.
I can't believe the way he's going about this. He's behaving almost the same way Afoko behaved. His is even more frontal.
Okay.
So, well, I'm sorry.
Time is fine.
All right, thank you. And how big is your dream? Are you on MTN? Your MTN number could change your life could change your life with MTN Dream number. Win up to 10,000 Ghana cedis cash daily when 2 to 7 digits of your number, MTN number, match exactly with the daily drawn number from right to left. All you have to do is to send start to 1451 to subscribe daily for only 60 pesos. MTN, everywhere you go. Let's see if I can get just a minute, 30 seconds from you. The parties in the suspension.
So unfair.
So I only get the last dregs.
Well, these political animals.
I was just going to talk about indiscipline, and how discipline is the backbone of every single political party.
Right.
So when it rears its ugly head, and it must be stamped out immediately in whatever way. So we've had issues of hooliganism, to me, vandalism, insubordination, etc., etc. It just needs to be rooted out. Since you only gave me the last dregs, that's all I can say.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I'm unable to read more of your text messages. Nana Hesse Ojuri says that let Felix know that NPP brought down inflation from 40% in 2000 to 18%. Well, and Anakomia has been dealing with that. As a result of NPP's remarkable achievement, banks were chasing private individuals. You hear this refrain a lot.
No bank
we're chasing individuals for loans. Today, government is competing with private individuals for loans. Is this the changing lives? Truly, change incompetent Mahama. And that is supposed to be with a stress that we should change incompetent Mahama. Well, thank you very much, all of you. And as I said, Latida is responsible for my outfit. And this Christmas, one thing you can do for a friend or your relative is to get them a Latida, shirt. 020-433-6444. Now, God willing, next week, our very final show for the year, we'll be doing a bigger guest program. We'll do it at the forecourt of the station. We'll assemble quite a number of guests, and we'll bring some of you into the program to ask direct questions on questions of energy, the economy, and a few other matters that we'll table for discussion. And at that place, too, we'll read bits and pieces of sabbatically speaking. And I'm hoping that we can get some and also dash to some of you when you come so that you can be reading it. It's very good. We need to look into ourselves and pinch ourselves and ask whether we are serving this country very well, sabbatically speaking. Thank you very much, my guests, all of you, particularly Dr. Jemima. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. This show is repeated at 9:30 on your Joy News channel.